Hello, everybody. Welcome to Anime Sickos. It's the podcast for geniuses and the only podcast where we look at the four pillars of modern misery: anime, gaming, posting, and jobs. I am Tom, an anime sicko.
I am Joe, an anime sicko.
We got real quick one patron to shout out. This MFer, I know him in real life, is Jackie Ho. Jackie's really cool. Thank you, Jackie. I can't believe you fucking paid us money. Hell yeah.
Or you did the actual follow-up of, yeah, I'll check out your podcast, person I met.
I think it's honestly more likely that he is Patreonizing us out of like, oh, he's doing a little project.
Oh, isn't he having fun?
Exactly. But hey, those bucks spend the same. And boy, are we spending the shit out of them on our Anime Sickos secret project. But enough of that. Joe, I've been looking at the fucking numbers lately, the download numbers after our we've taken some swings, done some unusual stuff for us, and well, the people have spoken.
Don't you dare talk about stop motion movies again. You woof.
Oh boy.
The people have I can't imagine why people wouldn't want to talk about two dudes grossly explaining a gross movie
About G.I. Joe,
but also non-sexually. Like, it's just like there was nothing there.
Just to sort of get our groove back, we're gonna be like the little organ grinder monkeys you want us to be and read a big list of funny posts we found. Will you forgive us?
Is that friction the slop good for you?
We sure hope so.
It is funny though, because like I didn't really want to watch Mad God, and it wasn't even worth it.
I thought it was worth it.
No, I shouldn't say that. It was worth it to see spectacle, but yeah, it just dampened my spirits. Anyway, all of this is to say, if you don't know what our org structure looks like, Tom is the CFO.
Yeah. So I decide, when we're going to be losing revenue from talking about too many stop-motion feature films, I'm the one who says we break the glass and do a posting episode.
Correct. As the CFO, Tom, have you recently come across any business leads or opportunities?
Oh, have I ever. Oh, fucking God. Joe, just today, 3 hours ago at the time of recording, I got an email from someone at an app called Wisdom. Joe, can I read you this email I received?
Mm-hmm.
We want the voice behind Anime Sickos on Wisdom.
No, you absolutely do not.
You do not. We'd like to offer you the top badge. Top badge is in bold, and the T and B are both capitalized. I'd like to offer you the top badge, our highest badge, if you'd join us. No, Joe, what are your feelings about badges? Are you swayed? Are you tempted by the top badge?
So this woman was like, I got some TF2 items. Does that interest you?
What would it be like if the top badge was not their highest badge?
They have like an S tier or a diamond, platinum.
Wisdom is the place to meet, share, and learn from fellow podcasters. I can't imagine a worse fate.
My life is as stable as it is because I don't learn from other podcasters.
Yeah. I know, who's a fellow podcaster? Fucking Brianna Joy Gray in Virgil, Texas. Get them out. No.
He was recalled.
Yeah. He's back at the factory. He was a defective model. Joe. Oh, it's about to get even better with the next sentence. We are venture-backed and growing fast, so they have to be good if they're venture-backed. Venture capitalists don't back dumb things.
Oh, there could be, like, blood oil money behind it or blood diamond money behind it. This is good.
Yeah. Or just blood money. Like, this is the blood that the machine gets.
Yeah.
The famous machine. The top... Oh, Joe. Oh, if you weren't ill before... This sentence is just a real gut punch. The fact that someone thought we should get this is it makes me feel less confident about myself. The top badge is Wisdom's version of Twitter's blue checkmark.
No. First of all, they clearly do not listen to the show. Which is so offensive.
Oh, fuck. Oh, no. Oh, no. Joe, this person goes on to describe what they consider to be like an enticing benefit, but reads like nothing so much as a threat. Each day, you'll get a new batch of voice intros of interesting podcasters to listen to and meet. You can also talk live to audiences of hundreds and even thousands.
This sucks.
I got enough shit to do every day.
This feels like features for the sake of features.
It's just like, hey, you have like a lot of time on your hands and you don't feel stretched thin, right? As a podcaster, like, you definitely don't. And I'm like, actually, quite the opposite. Like, well, would you like a bunch of homework chores to do every day?
The reason this exists is probably because there is an upper limit on podcast consumption. Like, because people who listen to podcasts, like, do it, like, a lot. And the people who don't, like, just don't touch it at all. It seems like now the only move is to now make the podcasters somehow be metrics to each other by hanging out and interacting.
It's quite bad. The rest of the email isn't very funny. We've sort of gotten the hits. But, Joe, I was, as CFO, I want to do my due diligence. I'm not going to just slam this email out of hand without doing any research. So I went to the website for the Wisdom app, and, well, actually, I'm looking at it now. I was going to slam it because there's a bunch of stupid shit I'm going to see when I scroll down. But when you first see it, what you see is like in the background.
What do I gotta
is
search?
A picture of Einstein.
He's famously smart. So what do I put into my damn search bar?
Wisdom.audio is the website.
Wisdom grow faster.
Here's a great paragraph. This really makes me feel very good about this. What problem does Wisdom solve? Is the header. And then the copy is, LinkedIn was not made for mentorship. Incredible lead-off sentence. Experts and would-be mentors mostly ignore inbound requests in direct proportion to how much help they can give and how influential they are. The end result? Such people only respond to the warm intro. Warm intro, of course, is bold and in caps. This reads like nothing so much as I get reached out to on LinkedIn by the Fate Wiki. This is nonsense.
How is Wisdom different than Quora? I don't see how they're similar.
Yeah, why is that the one that people's minds would... While Quora at its best helps you understand the world by transmitting knowledge, Wisdom helps you understand yourself and others by facilitating deep and thoughtful interactions. We found the best way to gain self-knowledge is by forging deep connections with like-minded people who also want to grow, and that we all grow faster together. Is this just Twitter Spaces?
I think a little bit. It sounds like it, although Twitter Spaces are kind of the wild, wild west, so maybe this is an attempt to tame that.
Maybe. I mean, how could it be? They're trying to give us the top badge. Like, what do they think we're going to do other than, like, log on and be like, Wisdom sucks, you all are fucking rubes, let me quit your jobs, Obama.
Please let me read the start of this next paragraph.
Can I first talk about the systemic inequity of the warm intro? Because you'll remember warm intro as this big, like, fucking, like how the Fate Wiki always capitalizes the root and has a hyperlink that doesn't make any sense. The warm intro has a little definition. It's called the systemic inequity of the warm intro. The people who get mentored today run in the same circles with their mentor and can get a warm intro. Millions of people don't have investors or even professionals in their network. What does that mean? Is it literally just saying, like, you need to know your mentor?
Professionally, I guess we were supposed to have like a work dad at some point. I never got one.
Yeah, I never. Yeah, I generally don't. Also, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to be doing the warm intro or they do it to me. What the fuck is this?
Wisdom is
so
designed to elicit intellectual and emotional interactions around some of the most beautiful questions ever asked.
How strong is Goku? Could Goku beat Superman?
Okay, so that's the way it is, like Quora. Okay.
Oh my god. Joe. It's been called naked consciousness by one of our members. This is an insane member. An insane member of your website said something fucked up. Why put it on the front page?
This is a very dire testimonial. Like a TED Talk with audience participation.
There is a horrible tab on the top navigation bar that reads simply algorithm. When you talk about mucho texto, folks, it is a horrific essay entitled The Algorithm Engineering Wisdom. Wisdom is built from the ground up on an algorithm-friendly design. Success for an app relies largely on how well the right piece of content can be surfaced at the right member at the right time to keep them interested. TikTok is a master at this. At Wisdom, we took their learnings to heart. We land the member on a single piece of content, much like TikTok does. We believe our swipe-style mechanic is superior to Clubhouse's feed of content, as our algorithms are able to learn more efficiently and accurately. We do this by providing the Wisdom audience with thought-provoking, wise content that's relevant to them. Most apps today train their algorithm with the goal of increasing the amount of time a user spends on the app. A byproduct of that goal is that the algorithm suggests content that is interesting.
That is true, though. We complain about that part all the time. That's true.
Well, at Wisdom, we think that relationship is backwards. We want shit that you think sucks. No, our goal is to provide our members with conversations that matter, content of substance that can deepen their knowledge and improve their life. Oh my god. Oh, I see a sentence in the next couple that when you hear it, you're going to go, whoa, just like I did when I saw it. We take umbrage at the word user and what it implies. TikTok has users. Facebook has users. So does heroin.
Yeah. Does it say any more drugs, or does it just do that one?
No, that's the only one. That's stupid. I can think of more drugs than that.
Yeah. I thought it was like an applause line.
This is it's so long. This is the dumbest shit
I'm scared
in the
of
universe.
this. I don't like this.
Anyway, so as the CFO, I'm going to say yes to this, right? Like,
yeah, did you say we get wisdom coins?
Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention that. By joining Wisdom as a top batch, we get 500 Wisdom coin, our creator currency.
Holy shit. Okay, so we don't know the exchange value of these, so let's not be too glib about this.
Wisdom. If we have a lot of Wisdom coins, we can cast high-level incantations. That can be really useful to us.
Get some powerful spell regents.
Well, Joe. Spells use intelligence. Incantations use wisdom.
Oh,
you gotta keep them separate.
Right. Right.
Sicko mode, sicko mode, sicko mode. 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 Yo. That wisdom shit's out of the way. We can actually start reading posts now. You want to read some posts, Joe?
I was thinking, 'cause this past week, work-wise, has been pretty rough. I've been doing a lot, and I was like, wow, I can't wait to not look at a screen. And then Tom was like, we're going to do a post episode. I got some screens for you.
Well, at least I got them on a nice menu.
That's
for us
true.
to look
That's
at.
true.
So, Joe, to start off with, have you ever heard of a little account called Occupy Democrats? You familiar with Occupy Democrats?
It's one of my favorite deranged accounts. I am not clear who it's really for, because it's just like it's just like pretty standard like Democratic talking points, but they like have to be like very intense and mean at the end.
I also love that they use Occupy. They use the name from Occupy Wall Street, which was a grassroots anti-capitalist protest. And like they only say like the most like middle of the road liberal political opinions. It's like, where's the Occupy come in?
Generally, they're pretty bad, and every time I see one, I get concerned. But we saw one recently that caused me to 180 a little bit on this account.
Yeah, Ruth Conda forever. I'm an Occupy Democrats booster now. They're great. Can I read the one in particular?
Yeah.
Okay, so this one is going to do their classic formula, which is breaking, and then it has some stuff that would make a middle-of-the-road lib get upset. And then there was an all-caps concluding sentence that says, retweet if you think something.
In the past, sometimes it's been like, RT if you're glad they're dead. Like, it's just been like some really weird shit.
This one is breaking. New book reveals Donald Trump brutally mocked Rudy Giuliani as fucking disgusting on a plane because the, quotes, odor after Giuliani, quote, used the bathroom was so disgusting that Trump decided to, quote, loudly complain. And then all caps, retweet if you're glad you weren't there to experience it.
It's a good point. It's just like Rudy took a gross shit. Everyone has to know.
Everyone was making fun of how yucky his huge turd was. Aren't you glad you didn't smell stinky?
That's I don't like it. But anyway, I wonder how much of the numbers on these posts are ironic, because we're not the only people who are like, oh, you have a deranged energy that I love to see.
I mean, I goosed their numbers, dude, because what do you want? I came at it with honesty. It said retweet if you're glad you weren't there to experience it, and I said, buddy,
You fell for it.
I am.
That's
glad.
That's the power of call to action.
It is. Again, Ruth Conda forever. I'm an Occupy Democrats head now. Like, I appreciate their brand. It's cool to me. Okay, so why are they doing quotation marks? I understand quotation because they're talking about, this is from a book that this story was in. So I understand why you would quote fucking disgusting, because that sounds like really editorial. That sounds like too slangy to be using in like your breaking news post. So you got to have quotes to make sure like this is from someone. But why is odor and used in quotes?
I don't know. A lazy reason, probably. It doesn't matter.
Occupy Democrats has 479,000 followers.
That's what I mean. Like, how many of them are ironic follows? Probably not that large amount, because this is actually this is everybody's mom now. So
yeah, I'm thinking like probably less than 1%. Like, we're making fun of this style, but like this is it. Like, this is the heartland, Joe.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! Speaking of a disgusting odor, Matt Schlapp, who is a perennial right-wing dumbass who's always coming up, had a real great post. I believe because this guy has something to do with Kansas. Matt Schlapp is from Kansas. He's retweeting a video of New York City's Mayor Eric Adams, one of the dumber men. He's talking shit on Kansas, I assume so as to make New York City seem better by comparison. The poll quote is, Kansas doesn't have a brand. And Joe, Matt Schlapp had a response to that. I will read it. We go in the toilets.
That's my bit. I say that. I'm always going on about that. Online is the toilet. What is he? All right, keep going, I guess. Maybe you got a new co-host here.
I hate to say, I hate to give him any credit. You don't want to give him any credit. But I gotta be honest, I've actually been really getting into using the toilet lately.
Going to the toilets.
We go in the toilets. I mean, he's kind of got a point. Like, Joe, honestly, what's the number one problem you have when you go to piss and shit?
I don't know where to put it.
Yeah, obviously, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't think, it's like kind of counterintuitive, But like toilets actually have a pretty elegant answer for this.
It's so interesting that we do that, and he thinks it's weird. He can continue to store his feces in bags or whatever, but I will continue to use the toilet.
Yeah, he said, we go in the toilets, and we believe God creates boys and girls, and guns are legal, and murders are rare. Your turn, Mr. Mayor. We go in the toilets. we... I mean, the rest of
That's concussion talk.
Tweet.
That's unfortunately concussion talk. We go in the toilets. God made boy and girl.
Gun are legal.
Murders are rare. That's also probably not... I also don't believe that because they're always freaking out about murder rates in every city ever. So that's not true.
Yeah. Like, their favorite thing in the world is to say that, like, everyone got murdered. Like, no one's left.
Yeah, Chicago had a total population reset.
Every week, the fucking, the population halves until there's one guy who one weekend cuts himself in half and then himself in fourth until he's just an infinitesimal atom.
Yeah, and that's going to be the Streets and Sanitations Department.
Yeah, exactly. They go. We go. I'm trying to decode this. So, okay.
We go in the toilets.
This is concussion talk. So I'm trying to like.
I honestly think he's referencing the stupid litter box in schools nonsense. I think that's what that is a reference to.
Oh, fuck me. That's grim.
The grammar would line up, but I don't know.
People are so fucking stupid. How does, like, I know this is a point that's been sort of hammered to death, but it's so true. We grew up being told, like, don't believe everything you hear on the internet. Make sure you do your research. Check it out.
All those people are on freedomeagle.gun.
And they see, like, kids these days hate eating stew, but love identifying as a cat and having the school give them litter boxes for shitting. And it's just like, why isn't, like, there is no piece of footage that would be more lucrative for these fucking ghouls than footage of a fucking litter box. Like, someone just filming one in the school. Like, and the thing is, it's not as though there's, like, any shortage of potential cameramen. Half of high school students are like blood freaks who hate kindness. I know because I went there, and any of them would be delighted to feed the blood machine, but none of them do. And like no one thinks, like, isn't it weird that there's no footage of one? Jesus Christ. There's a great reply. Absolutely no way I'm using a toilet when the sidewalk is right there. Greatest city in the world, baby. We go into toilets. Oh, fuck.
This is basically like a post-cluster, which is there was a flute that Lizzo played, I guess, and everyone hated it. Not everyone hated it. The worst people hated it.
Yeah. There was a guy named, I think, Max Nordau, who just became like the world's angriest man at this. He was sort of the most visible, like, single idiot who had a fucking shit fit over this. But as you say, it's a post-cluster. It's not about this fucking guy. He is just one of many saying the same tired talking points, which is, how dare this bitch touch the famous flute? How dare she play the flute?
They didn't know about the flute either. Okay, I didn't know about this fucking flute. They didn't either, and now they're ready to go to war for the flute.
And as someone who, I think played is more accurate than plays, as someone who played the flute for a number of years, I can tell you with sincerity and authority, ain't nobody gives a fuck about flutes. There's no legitimate, natural, non-astroturfed buzz about flutes one way or the other. Like, it is a purely manufactured outrage. You know what I really loved is that, like, the implication in all of the outrage, like, how dare this twerking woman play our founding father's flute, is the implication that like she national treasured it?
Yeah.
Like she got it from a heist.
The artifact's power is hers.
Yeah. She stole it. And it's like, did you not like? They asked her to do it.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's the annoying framing of it too. They made it sound like she showed up and was like, "Give me all your priceless ancient flutes, or I'm gonna flip out." Which obviously is not what fucking happened. But
yeah. And another like thing that they kept harping on is that the initial sort of viral clip of her playing the flute was like during a concert when it was like, "Stop everything, you guys. The Library of Congress is letting me play this fancy flute." And she played like one note on it, and it seemed and the implication that they run with is she doesn't know how to play the flute. She's just playing one note. That's not playing. That's not. I could do one note. Clearly, I don't need to explain the reason, the real truth, because the reason is they're racist. That's why they're doing it. It's just, but like, one, she's very clearly being given the flute for the first time and isn't used to it. Two, she's in the middle of her concert where she plays fucking music that doesn't have long flute solos. So she's not going to be like, "Guys, let's bring the energy way down so that I can play a flute concerto." You're going to hate it. There's no backbeat. There just isn't one. Try dancing to this shit. And just like, it's... it'd be bad enough, Joe, if it was just that. If it was just racists whipping up a fake controversy about flutes. Who gives a shit about flutes? No fucking buddy.
this is a weaker version of like the statue guys you used to see on Twitter a lot. Like the guys that were obsessed with like Western Civ, and to them like the highest expression of that was like a marble guy.
Yeah. The people who like get mad at like taking down a Columbus statue. It's just like, you don't...
my neighbors.
There's no... It's true. There's no way you gave a shit about this 2 seconds ago. You're just like... You just know that, like, this is the kind of thing a guy like me, evil, would really get hyped up over. But it's so... I really feel for Lizzo. I'm not a huge fan of her music. I listened to her big breakout album, and it's really good, but I'm not, like, following her career with incredible interest. But I really feel for her because she is in sort of the devil's middle in terms of having freaks talk about her all the time. Because on one hand, you have these flute freaks, but on the other, you have like a jillion dads from Get Out who think it is very moral to bow to the black woman as though she is some sort of fucking precious artifact. This fucking one, this quote, I gotta read you this tweet. "Is Lizzo single-handedly saving this country by destroying its horcruxes with the power of black feminine energy, redemptive self-love, and twerking?"
Just be racist, man. Jesus.
Also, the hilarious inclusion of Harry Potter phraseology as that, like, come on, man, you should know that Harry Potter's transphobic by now.
There's a lot of posts like that, though.
There are. Lord Almighty. I hope it cools down for her. No one deserves this kind of shit from both sides. Lord. Fuck. You know what that shit reminds me of? That Horcruxes shit? Do you remember the DuckTales? Do you remember the sassy Latina DuckTales post?
Yes, vaguely. Like, you said that, and I know an MRI of my brain would show activity.
I have it here. It is a post. I think it's from someone who worked on the DuckTales reboot. I can't know. I don't know for sure. Let me check.
I am looking at it. It's awful.
Whoa, not only did he work on it, he's the co-creator. Oh, that makes it very weird. He has a picture of a duck, a young girl duck, who's doing the DreamWorks face. You know the one. And he has paired this image with the text, "No, but really, look at this cocky teenage Latina coming to destroy your fragile ego with a look. I love this image so much."
What is this phraseology? It's like this. It is like what you said. It's like the get out dad talk.
It is. I mean, I hate to say this because this is a phrase that has become a kind of like a meaningless dog whistle. But if you actually look at what the definition purports to be, this is virtue signaling. It's just straight up like, I know I'm a white man. You can see it in my avatar. However, I am acting as though people of color have some sort of magical morality juice that shoots out of them at all times. And I love that. So, how bad can I be?
He did hashtag DuckTales, Darkwing Duck, and Gosselin did not do Latina. I don't know.
That's not moral enough. He had... You gotta have the hashtag Latina. Oh my god. Who cares about the flute? Yo, Joe, I want to talk about Shanley. Remember Shanley?
A poster that was good, I believe.
One of the best, in fact. I thought when she first made her big splash on Twitter, I legit thought she was like a drill type. I thought she was someone who was doing an incredible series of gags. But as time went on, oh no, you're just like this. She sort of has cooled off for a while, but this August, she came back with really one of the most astonishing fucking posts that I've ever seen in my life. I think at this time, August, yeah, and at this point in August of this year, I was like traveling to visit Spain. So I was like in the hell day of transatlantic travel. And I saw this on like one of the few blips of time that I had internet on my phone. And I was just like, oh my God, this makes this day bearable. This is like such a treat. This is like water in the desert to a fucking burning man. I gotta read the whole thing. First of all, she's quote tweeting a tweet. So I will read the thing that started it off. It doesn't matter who said this. This person who Shanley quote tweets says, "I would actually be worried if my fiance, male version, 1E, I'd be worried if my male fiance didn't have any friends who are women. This isn't some pick-me cool girl thing. I mean, my fiance sees women as people and not as potential partners. And his attitude there is foundational to a good relationship. A pretty normal take. It's weird if a guy has no platonic female friends." Yeah, fair enough. Shanley, out the gate, just blazing hot. She quote tweets saying, "No man sees women as people, and it is irresponsible for us to pretend otherwise or pretend like you found a good man. Younger girls on here don't know better, and it perpetuates myths. Also, his friends who are women are e-girls with cat butt plugs that he paid for." Just like the fact that she said that the idea that there could be a good man is irresponsible to think. That is so like,
I think we can agree it's a good opinion.
This is what posting's all about. This is what I'm talking about. This is like when you are trying to make a post, making a good post, you have to just like put your entire foot down on the gas, fucking spin the fucking steering wheel and close your eyes. Like, I have no idea where I'm going to fucking go and I don't care. Also, I love that this is like ostensibly a feminist post. Like, we have to protect our own. This is our tribe and we cannot allow the evil men to harm us. But also, e-girls with cat butt plugs are all filthy sluts who I hate because of their promiscuous nature. They are less than people to me.
But she also kills a woman.
She does, because some normal human who has a functioning brain, who is a woman, replies to Shanley, yeah, this is dumb. You should delete it. Now that's true. She should do that, and it is dumb. What does Shanley say?
It says in your bio you have cancer. What kind? I've read a lot of mean shit. That is high octane stuff.
Remember in Hunter x Hunter when there was the backstory of Netero, the chairman of the Hunters Association, and his whole deal is that he just decided to like become enlightened and like perfect his nen. And what he did is he just went out into the middle of a field for like several years. And all that he would do is throw 10,000 straight punches a day. And then there's the scene where he's done. And he comes back to the dojo where he is the master, and everyone is blown away to see Netero. And he just throws one straight punch, and everyone's jaw drops.
Yes.
Like they saw God.
Yes. We saw that punch. You left out the fact that Netero trains so hard that, like, the day gets longer.
What?
Yeah, there's the part where he literally enters like a state where it extends time.
That's Nen, baby. Oh my god, Shanley, you can't do better than Shanley. Holy shit. Well, actually, you can. I don't know about better, but when it comes to insane women, a well that never runs dry, the Red Scare girls. They're nuts.
They're both Catholic now. Everyone is Catholic now.
We got two Red Scare because there's two Red Scare girls. There's Dasha and the other one. I think, there's the Dasha one is more Catholicism heavy. It really double dips on the Catholicism, the adult convert energy, which is a really fucking foul energy that we see more and more, unfortunately. So I'll start us off with a nice aperitif. I don't know if aperitif comes before or after. I don't know French. We'll start us off with a nice light appetizer from the other one. Oh God. If you're a straight man and you participate in a public pylon over whammons looks, and women, she didn't say women's, she said whammons, WAMMIN''S. And it might be hypocritical for us to roast and slam another podcast.
All we do is say words wrong.
Yeah, but I don't think any of our incorrect word sayings are like dog whistles, which this clearly is. Like this is like if you say whammon, it means you're based and have weird crypto fascist.
The friend thing, the frogs.
Oh, yeah, it's exactly friends.
Okay.
Oh. If you participate in a public pylon over whammons, looks, or size, you are no better than a leftist. In fact, you are a spiritual leftist with a secretly maudlin and victim-oriented philosophy of life. That's why whammon mad, not you hurt my feelings.
I hate that, I understood, all of it. I really do.
What?
It sucks.
Joe... Rewind. What does "you are no better than a leftist" mean?
I don't. I take that back. I forgot about that part. I meant everything after.
So wait, I don't even know what the second part means. Can you decode this for me?
You have to read it again.
In fact, you are a spiritual leftist with a secretly maudlin and victim-oriented philosophy of life.
This is the soul-sick argument because they've obviously derided leftists as a bad thing. So now your soul is a leftist. That's bad.
Also, did I miss when we decided that piling on over a woman's looks is inherently leftist?
I don't know. I don't really read my email.
Fair enough. This reminds me of, what it reminds me of, and I'm not joking here because I've actually read what I'm about to quote. This reminds me of the fucking Unabomber Manifesto. I read that for the now defunct but still excellent podcast Tome Foolery. You should listen to that, folks, if you haven't. Where the host, Codex Melcher, would have people come on and read bad and or fucked up books or texts and manifestos, not a book, but you get me. And people would discuss them. And the thing about the Unabomber manifesto that I noticed, and the reason why people who are like, actually, he makes some good points, are stupid. People who say that I dismiss out of hand as intellectual gnats who I disdain. Great. Because, like, for every point he makes about how, like, technology is a prison, what is given to us as a convenience soon becomes a necessity until it defines our life, and we didn't opt into it. For every point like that he makes 5 points of, the leftists are so annoying to me. I met a leftist who was very annoying, and I didn't like them very much.
So nothing has changed.
Yeah, like the main thing about leftists is that they do things that I think are really irritating.
He
like,
doesn't know it, but he's posting. He's just using the wrong machine. He's using a book instead of a computer.
Exactly. That's what I get when I hear no better than a leftist. Like, because what is a leftist? Someone who does things I don't like. Anyway, this would be pretty fucked up if it ended there. However, someone replies to the other one from Red Scare saying, "You're mid."
Do we have to define mid for anyone?
Oh, we probably should. It means that your looks are mediocre.
They're meh.
Yeah.
But
you're in the middle of hot and uggo.
Yeah, which could be a lot meaner, I guess. But anyway, continue, Tom.
I hate to break it to you, but many would say I'm the opposite of mid. And that's not just me paying myself a compliment. Lol. Well, like, yeah, it is. It's like, it's definitely that. And also, you're immediately... I just love that she's like, anyone who says shit about a woman's looks is no better than a leftist. However, all these other bitches are ugly compared to me. I love these dumb people. They post so good.
They scare me.
They
red
scare me.
They red scare me. No, they absolutely do.
You think that's bad, Joe? You think that post was full of weird in-group signifiers and lingo that made very little sense? Wait till you hear this. This is a famouser one than that one. The one with the other one just went around recently, and also people don't care about the other one as much. But this has got Dasha. She was on Succession. Could you believe it? She wasn't very good. I think they wrote her out. She's not going to be in season 4, thank God. And Liz Brunig, and they're doing adult Catholic convert energy back and forth. They're doing like resonant frequency, like they reflect the waves back stronger. It's like, you know what it is? It's two foxes in Super Smash Brothers, both with the reflectors on, shooting a laser back infinitely until one of them just explodes. Oh God. Do you want to help read this with me? Do you want to play Liz Brunig and I'll play Dasha?
Yeah. Okay, I will play Liz. At the top here, does this mean there have been no efficacious sacraments since Vatican II, V2?
Now, before I even say Dasha's shit, the real thing, if you find yourself thinking this kind of thing,
you might be Catholic.
The real thing to do is say, who fucking cares? Who fucking cares? Who fucking cares? Who fucking cares? Like, what do you mean efficacious? Like, it's made up. Like, it's just rituals. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Dasha replies, not in the Latin rite. Unfortch.
Looking back.
UNFORTCH. Unfort.
Looking back at Augustine's take on Donatist controversy, I just can't square the account of a sacramental theology with the Gospels. It would either mean the sacraments are divorced from soteriology altogether, meaning double predestination and or some kind of pelagism. I don't know that. I do not know what that word is.
Pelagian. I don't know either. Pelagianism. It's impossible to know if you're saying it right or not because this is fucking nonsense. It's gibbering.
Both of which.
Continue, Liz.
Both of which are heresies. I know that word from Warhammer. Or that God actually willed the destruction of the sacraments, in which case we can't really be blamed for just being ordinary Catholics. Evidently, this is what he wanted.
Yes, Saint Simeon the theologian said the Lord would retire from the sacrament rather than allow us to receive it so casually as to invite our own destruction, the way they do in Novus Ordo, for example, without even getting into priest and bishop ordination rites.
My God, you know what? This is just Ren fair.
Considering most American Catholics don't even believe in the presence of our Lord, and our Lord, adult convert ass bitch, our Lord in the Eucharist, and our times being as profoundly spiritually sick as they are, it really isn't that spicy of a take. Many Roman Catholics, not even seeds or trads, receive communion in Byzantine parishes for this reason. What are they talking about?
I don't know. I would imagine you get a certain stat bonus if you take communion in the Byzantine parishes. Like they're built differently.
The one thing about adult Catholic convert energy, and I love this. Well, I hate it actually. And I'm not a religious person. I disdain religion in general, organized religion especially.
But you do speak as sort of an authority figure because you got the Catholic beaten out of you.
Yeah. I fucking was born into it. But one thing that always strikes me as quite odd is that these people who are so serious about this, like, believe God in such like a deeply real way, in such a literal way. Like, he is around. He is exactly as described in the fucking book that some guys wrote. And he's real, and he's omnipotent, and he's omniscient, and he has a special will, and he knows everything in all of us. Yeah, okay, got it. Good. And he's so far above us. He's a different type of being that we can't even comprehend the glory of. To be in heaven is simply to see him. To simply look upon God is enough to be in eternal happiness. He is so much more than us. However, if I do my little easy bake oven Eucharist recipe even a little bit wrong, I will be instantly sent to hell as though I filled out my taxes incorrectly. And it's like, huh? Like, you think, like, there's a God who is this special. However, he really is a stickler for the forms. Like, he will not give you the benefit of the fucking doubt.
Old Testament God would be a stickler for the forms.
It's like doing good works, having love for your fellow man. That's not important. What's important is whether or not the sacraments are divorced from soteriology. And did you talk in Latin? Did you talk in the words that the guys who killed Jesus talked in? That's so fucked that, like, Latin is the special word. It's like, they hated him. They were the villains. They did the cross. Fuck this.
All right, let's get another one up here that's probably not about Catholics.
I will say, just to get the bad taste out of your mouth, I think I have noted this, seeing so many people download the the Shonen Jump app over the years. The good version, the mirror image version of adult Catholic convert energy that is good and, like, pleasant instead of awful and draining is adult reading Dragon Ball for the first time energy. Because it's like, friends, have you heard the good news of Goku?
We know.
He defeated Frieza, my word, and with Super Saiyan transformation
That's all
besides.
I think about. Yep.
Oh, Goku is good. Goku is good. Have you heard of Berter? It's like, yeah, no, I got it. Yeah, you're right. You're not wrong. Can't tell you to shut up because you're not wrong. What now? We want to do some wife posts? We have a few wife posts here.
Yes. One of the ones with gravity was the Try Guys had some sort of wife element.
Yeah. Okay, we should give some background. I did some research because
I didn't know anything about these guys.
Yeah. So here's the deal. The Try Guys are these YouTube personalities who their gimmick is they will try something, like some crazy activity or whatnot, and they'll give it the old college try and film themselves while they do it besides, hence the video.
And it's made them richer than God.
Yeah. So there's 4 guys. Their names are Ned Try, Eugene Try, Steve Try. They're brothers. And their fourth brother is named Johnny Test. He's a cartoon. He looks different, but he's adopted. But he's their brother. So I think what happened was Ned Try, who was like a big time wife guy, just cheated on his wife with a direct report besides, like someone who he can hire and fire and give raises to.
Well, that's not good.
It's not good. I mean, it's not that. There's not that much to it, honestly. I don't really care about the Try guys, these four brothers. But Ned Try did a very good apology post, a very good notes app post. Can I read you Ned Try's reply? Okay. Also important to know is that in his avatar, which he has not changed, anyone with self-respect would change it to all black by now, but he still has himself doing, and again, I don't want to say this because it has become a meaningless dog whistle for evil people. But again, if you look at what is the purported definition of this word, that's it. He's doing a soy face. He says, family should have always been my priority, but I lost focus and had a consensual workplace relationship. I love framing all of this as losing focus. Like, guys, I know that you like when I make it's you know what it is? It's like, guys, I know you like posting episodes, but we lost focus and made a Mad God episode.
Yeah.
I'll get back to what you like, though. Don't
I
worry.
always lose focus and experience lost time and look up and realize I'm fucking like it's just a problem.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, everyone's going nuts about Ned Try, and it went on and on. Like, the Try guys, the other three brothers, Eugene Try, Steve Try, and Johnny Test. They're doing like a weeping tour where they're just going around weeping
to show that they're very sorry. There's like this. It's like it is like a religious sort of like public emotional flogging they are performing.
Yeah, and I've heard some talk that like what they're doing is more about the legal aspect than the sort of emotional aspect, because like, well, technically, since he cheated with the direct report, that's like a huge legal liability, so it's in their interest to be extremely against him publicly and like push him out as much as they can so as to free themselves up from the legal liability, because if that woman wanted to sue, she would win slam dunk, no problem. But yeah, I don't really care about that. What I do care about is some motherfuckers went insane in reaction to this. I would love to read this to you. This is a post, actually a thread that, well, let me just read it. I feel like a good way to tell the difference between a wife guy and a guy who loves his wife is how much we actually know about this wife. What do we know about this wife? What's her profession? What are her hobbies? Is she a human being or is she an object in his act? John Mulaney never talked about Anna Marie Tendler's cool lampshade art. Because that wouldn't be very fucking funny in a stand-up set. All he ever said was, she's a dynamite 5-foot Jewish bitch and she's the best. And she loved Timothy Chalamet.
I mean, those are interesting facts too.
I guess. I mean,
what? How much dossier does she need for a wife?
It's actually very moral for us to dox Winnie with life facts.
Yeah.
What is Winnie's birthday? What are the last four numbers of her social security?
Yeah.
What is her mother's maiden name? What hospital was she born
Her
in?
big fear.
Yeah, you got to be telling us these things, Joe, or else I feel like your marriage is a big sham for your career.
Yeah.
Just like, why? That's not better. I'm telling you right now.
This is literally one of my favorite tweets of all time. Was the Brooks Otter Lake tweet about the guy like trying to open a lock screen door. He's like, "Hey, let me see that wife of yours, pal."
Oh, Joe, it's pretty bad. It gets even worse though, because you'd think that one of the things that people would take from the whole debacle with Ned Try and his three brothers, Steve Try, Eugene Try, and Johnny Test, is that, well, it's probably bad to put people you don't know on pedestals of morality. To be like, this is the man who models feminism. He does it correctly and is the example. And I will sort of I will define feminism in my heart with him as the picture. You might think, clearly that is the wrong thing to do. And considering that she started this poster with the I mean, it's not unreasonable to start off being like, you have to learn how to differentiate between a wife guy and someone who actually just has a wife that they love.
That's true. That's actually a very interesting research area that we should devote more time to.
However, the answer that the way you can tell someone loves his wife is that he's constantly doxing her is not the answer. And further not the answer is she's like, now that we have Ned Try off that pedestal, that toxic man, I know exactly who we put back on. You know who truly loves his wife? Justin McElroy. That dude worships his smart, politically active doctor wife. Dr. Sidney Smurl McElroy is even running for West Virginia's House of Delegates. I love those two crazy kids. Now, I'm sure Justin McElroy loves his wife. However, this is just like the McElroy curse. This is Lizzo has this curse too, which is just like, stop fucking talking about me. Don't talk about me. Don't say insane things with my name in them, please. Justin McElroy will never fall off the Zeppelin. It's like, maybe he won't. I sure hope he won't. But why did you say that?
Why does it turn into, based on how it started and the amount of content devoted to the subject of Justin, sounds like the entire purpose of this was to just write that you think it's so nice that this podcast guy loves his wife. Like, that's the main point.
Yeah.
The tie-in is immaterial.
Yeah. I think it is as uncut parasocial relationship addiction as you can get, because it's like, I don't care about the show. What I care about is that Justin McElroy did share fact about his wife and did model that he enjoyed those facts. Therefore, cha-ching. It's like, I'm not going to fucking give you folks I'm not going to dox my wife. I'm not going to give you any wife facts, okay? Can you just take it on faith that I think positively about my wife? Like, is that enough for you little hogs?
Why are you so skeptical of my love?
And the difference between a wife guy and a guy who loves his wife is that, as we'll see in the further wife posts in this segment, a wife guy thinks of his wife as an inscrutable object that he owns, that he's sort of scared of and doesn't understand the powers of. You know what it is? It's like in D&D when you get a magic item and nobody has the spell that identifies magic items.
Yes.
So you just like don't really know what it does.
Yeah, Diablo had that. You're like, what is this glowing sword? It's just normal until I get a scroll.
Yeah. That's how you tell the difference. And as an example, we got some wife posts right here. This one is actually a wife post, but it's pretty, it's actually kind of wholesome. Like, I like this one. This is a Craigslist post. And the title is, Looking for Gay Man to Take Wife Out to Party in Chelsea. My wife is great, but she always wants to go out, especially to Brooklyn electronic music events. Unfortunately, I am unable to keep up with her. I'm not disabled or anything. This is not in the text. This is just my reading. I'm just tuckered out. I need someone who can chaperone her to these events as a friend so I can get some rest. Ideally, you're into this type of music. You like to party, and you're probably in your late 20s or 30s. She's 30. You would be paid by the hour, $30 an hour, plus any cover/price of admission, most likely Friday or Saturday. If you're interested, please respond with a brief description about yourself. Thanks.
My wife is a golden retriever that must be tuckered out. That's very strange.
I need to hire a dog walker for my wife.
Yeah.
Is it a dog? I think more like a babysitter.
Yeah.
It's just like, My wife does these things. There's no talking to her about it. She just shows up at Brooklyn clubs. I can't stop her.
Do you think there's a embarrassing age gap in this?
Maybe. I mean, probably. But it would be so much funnier if there wasn't. If it was just
it's like two 30-year-olds, and like this would be like me. Like, I'm fucking tired. Like,
I mean, what does it say that, like, your wife has this hobby, this need to engage in this hobby so strong that, like, that there's no way that she can resist. This is a requirement in her life. And it's so anathema to you and the way you live your life that you're like, God damn, can I just, like, hire you a gay friend to do this?
My wife like must dance.
Like, did this not come up when you were dating? I'm not saying that people have to share all of their hobbies, like, 1-to-1, 100%, but, like, it just seems a little odd that, like, my wife, sometimes she does an inexplicable thing. I don't get it.
Once a week. It's very strange.
And there's simply no compromise I can make here. I'm going to get a babysitter. I mean, at least he's trying. I will say that. It's more than a lot of these wife guys do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the third wife post that we have on tap is, Joe, you want to read this one for me?
Oh, we got a quote tweet from a homie of the show.
Yeah. I knew this was a wife post before, but then a homie of the show did a quote tweet with a very cogent observation that we will share.
Interesting wife post. This is the quoted tweet by a goddamn Virginian.
Kenny, the guy who I thought was 18, but was really 28.
The wife isn't the focus of the tweet, but she's still used like a protective talisman. I am married and my wife endorses my behavior, therefore you cannot say I am not normal.
I mean, right fucking on. What were we just saying? A wife guy thinks of his wife as a inscrutable magical artifact that they have in their home that they're always vaguely afraid of. And, you know, that's exactly what he's fucking saying right here. And it's exactly the truth. Because what he's quote tweeting is a post by Howard Ehrenstein, a former Washington bureau manager for CBS Radio News. Now, Howard got into a big thing about, and this is happening more and more these days, a big thread that's moaning and weeping about the state of his city and how broken it is. Specifically, the symptom that he keeps bringing up is that they ticket you for not following the traffic laws, and you have to pay money to the city. And one particular thing that he thought was so awful was that they had installed some cameras on stop signs near his neighborhood that if you do not stop at them, they will take your picture and send you a ticket. And someone is like, hey, that's not nearly as expensive as my toddler's hospital bill from being hit by a driver who didn't stop. Like, shut up. Like, no, it's good that this happens. And then Howard says the wife post in question. Quote, I feel bad for you. I am sorry. But this stop sign camera was fooling people, like my wife, who did not know it was there. Yes, everyone should always make a full stop, but unfortunately not everybody does it in reality.
Sorry about your probably dead kid, but my wife got a ticket.
Yeah, my wife was fooled because, you see, this is hard to follow, so let me break it down for you. She didn't want to stop at the stop sign, and she didn't think anything bad would happen. But then she got in trouble. So obviously, you see, like, she didn't want to get in trouble. So it's very unreasonable for her to have done that, to get in trouble.
This is car brain, too. This is all car brain. The car brain will kill us all.
I hate the cars. I hate them so bad.
I hate having one. I was driving. I wasn't having a good time because I was in a car.
Yesterday, we were doing recording for the Secret Project at a studio. I was driving back home, and I saw on my street, a 20-mile-per-hour speed limit street, one of those killdozer trucks that not only was modded to be lifted, but it was modded to be lifted such that it was angled, where the front was higher up than the back, so as to make the
Oh, it's like doing a wheelie.
Yeah, so to make their visibility even fucking less than usual. And also, it was modded to have those killing you laser beam headlights that blind you instantly. And that guy, what he would, if it was a wife in the car, and that motherfucker just ran through a stop sign at 30 miles per hour, Howard Ehrenstein would just be like, but my wife wanted to do it, so you can't, how mad can you get? You can't get mad at me. You can't say that it's good that we ticket the people because my wife got fooled.
I have a note from my wife that says, we're not in trouble.
I love that he uses the word fooled. Joe, how can you get fooled by a stop sign? Like, what is the fooling apparatus in this mechanism?
The fooling apparatus is finding out that they're actually like real and they have meaning.
I hate this motherfucker. You know who else is a real motherfucker? Is Elon Musk's friend and newly back on Twitter guy, ex-musician, Kanye West. You probably have heard this, but I'm going to read the tweet. If not for the horrific and genocidal implications, it's pretty funny. I'm a bit sleepy tonight, which is a hilarious opener. Just like, oh, I'm a sleepy guy. I'm getting my drippy candle out. I'm a bit sleepy tonight. Oh, but when I wake up, I'm going DEFCON 3 on Jewish people.
He's pointing to the stands before he does his home run hate speech.
I'm taking a nappy wappy, but when I wake up, I'm going to stage a pogrom. It's very stupid to point out spelling errors and factual errors in right-wing maniacs' posts, and he is one. You can't deny it at this point. But it is funny that DEFCON stands for Defense Readiness Condition. He has rendered as DeathCon, as though it was some sort of Halloween-themed Comic Con. DEFCON 3. It's dumb, but also like, oh, you're gonna death to the Jewish people? Okay. Yeah, no, I've heard that song before. Yeah, you're going there, huh? Okay. It's just like not very funny, but I think the funny part is that not so much the pro-Holocaust posts, but that Elon Musk hours before was like,
my buddy,
welcome back, free thinker.
Yeah.
Finally, Twitter isn't going to be silencing voices for no reason just because they're a little outside the mainstream. And he's like, you were quite right, my friend Elon. My non-mainstream opinion is that the Jewish people have toyed with me, and I am done with this.
Sure.
Fuck. And Joe, which one of our favorite people decided that they needed to weigh in on this whole scene?
Oh, that's going to be noted avatar of Generation X, Zenny. Last name doesn't matter. She's just the lady who loves posting. She used to work for
Boing Boing.
Boing Boing.
Now she's just she's full-time insane. You may remember her from Homie, What Set You From?
Yes.
Where she tried to, because she said that, she said that, like, someone was gangsta, like Nancy Pelosi was gangsta checking Donald Trump. And someone said, what? That's not a phrase.
Right.
No one said, like, as they say in LA, she was gangsta checking them. It's like, they don't say that in LA. And she said, homie, what set you from? Which is, honestly, now that I think about it, it's just a reskin of, upstate New York? Really? I'm from Utica, and I've never heard anyone call them steamed hams. Oh, no, not Utica. No, it's not the expression. That's what homie, what set you from is. But
Am I reading this one?
yeah. I also the first three words are like incredible post incoming.
My fellow whites, comma. Do not initiate conversations with black people about Kanye West this week, and do not share your opinion on his behavior. This has been a public service announcement for my people who suffer from the...
What do they suffer from?
Suffer from the malady of believing everything is about them. Light supremacy. Light. L-I-T-E supremacy.
Folks, black people are a mystical folk, a strange sort. Their little songs are very important to them. So you cannot get mad when a right-wing maniac says, I would love to do the Holocaust again. It actually, if you get upset about that, you're making it about you. You're making it about you, and I don't think that's very good that you're not going to like that. I think that's actually racist to do that.
But, what's not making it about you is inserting yourself to educate your fellow whites about how they should behave.
What is more inserting yourself than saying, my fellow whites, I will now instruct you on correct behavior?
Right.
And Joe, it would be pretty bad if that was it. But some guy who I think must be trying to roast her replies saying, well, looks like I have to cancel my Kanye West fan club meeting. Thanks for the heads up.
She replies, you're still alive. You're allowed to still believe some of his tunes are bangers.
Tunes are bangas.
That's how Australian people talk.
Yeah.
I don't know why she's putting on an affect there at the end, but that's Outback talk.
I was about to say, isn't this so hypocritical? She's all about like, don't insert yourself into black culture. It's not your place, you creeps. And then she puts on fucking like patois. But now that you've pointed out, it's definitely Aussie talk. So it's actually good to make fun of them.
So
yeah, she redeemed herself.
Yeah, we were wrong about this one. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm pro Zenny now. Ruth Conda forever. Gen X is the best generation. They drank from the hose. They were latchkey kids. They were tough.
They had records.
They were tougher than us.
They had record shops.
We just go to fucking Spotify. We don't know about what it's like to dig in the crates. They do, and that's why they have better music taste than us. And you know what is a great band is Nirvana. You know who reminds me a lot of Zenny Jardin in terms of just like coming out the gate with insane opinions that are held extremely strongly that you could never have thought someone would arrive at, is Lauren Ho, Hough. I hope that's how you pronounce it. Lauren Ho, or How, one of those. Joe, are you familiar with the Fetch? Her opinions on the game Fetch that is often played with dogs?
Oh, yes. Oh, okay, yes. Okay. So this lady's deal is that she thinks Fetch is abuse. Here's the thread. Anyway, playing Fetch is bad for your dog, and beyond a few throws, they're probably not even enjoying it. It's a more compulsive behavior you're supposed to curb. LOL, he won't stop until he drops. Isn't this funny after you've seen a dog fucking drop dead? You're not...
I love the implication here which is that she has seen a dog literally die
from Fetch.
Because it was playing Fetch too much.
This dog is overfetched. You're supposed to be the adult human in that relationship. Not everything your dog wants to do is good for them. You can argue with me if you want, but I'm right. I got to start adding that to the end of everything. That's really good. I'm not here to do your research for you. I'm just a word for lesbian who understands dogs better than you, apparently. You know how your dog acts like a fucking junkie who fucking needs you to throw it. It just fucking throw it. Please fucking throw it. It's because he is a fucking junkie. Your dog is a horrible little addict. I love this angle.
It's so like she's so mad. She starts out at like DEFCON 3. She's already so full of fucking like battle rage. Like, you can argue with me if you want, but I'm right. Is basically saying like, I want you to yell at me, but I'll never change. and like the idea that like if you play fetch, period, like you're evil. You're an abuser. Your dog will drop dead from it is very funny because it would be crazy to post all this, period. Yeah, and that's that. But what she does that most people who post stuff like this don't do is she actually links a primary source. Like, she sources her claims. And well, Joe, I read it. I read the blog post from the site. I believe it's an animal rehabilitation site. And it is about the dangers of fetch. However, to sum it up briefly, it is basically that dogs will get tunnel vision when they're playing fetch. And what can happen is, if you throw the ball near, say, a wall or a hole, the dog might not notice it, run right into the wall or fall in the hole. Also, the dogs get tunnel vision, not just, literally, but also sort of mentally. And they might overexhaust themselves. They get tired, but they'll keep running for the ball, and they might sort of strain their muscles because of that. You might recognize that last part, over-exercising and straining your muscles, as something that applies to literally every exercise that any species can do. That's if you go to the gym, you got to worry about that too. Don't lift too much. You might get hurt. It does not say that to play fetch, period, is to introduce fentanyl doggy mode to your poor dog's life.
She's right, though, about, like, a dog will do it until it dies. My sister has 2 bulldogs, and there's, like, this large ball they have. By large, I mean, like, it's, like, beach ball size and, like, dense and kind of heavy, so they can be rough with it. They'd probably expire themselves, like, knocking it around, for sure.
Yeah, but, like, it's not...
But it's not, like, categorically bad for them. It's not...
And it's not as though the dog dying... will be like a switch flipping. Like, they'll just be like in the middle of a run and then all of a sudden like boom.
It's like all of a sudden their feet are straight up in the air and they're dead.
Yeah. Oh my god. She actually, there's more. She went on and on. Anyway, since this isn't going to die and people are accusing me of murdering dogs, since everyone is very normal and calm, I'm going to leave you with this. Enjoy. Sorry I care about dogs enough to absorb new information when it was presented. And she then has a text, a screen cap of text from, again, a primary source that says don't throw repeatedly about, guidelines for fetch. However, important to note that the website that she is quoting this from is caninearthritis.org. Can you imagine which dogs this article is specifically for?
The most arthritic and just shaking.
People explained to her, like, lady, that's not what these articles are saying. They're saying this. It's not the same. And she resisted, and someone said, sort of giving up. So basically you're saying you cannot be taught. Fine. Ask a friend to Google it for you. Do you have a friend? And she responds, taught what? What do I need to be taught? To shut the fuck up? To smile? You want an apology? Sure. Show me one person I hurt and I'll apologize to them. You can't. So I won't. And yeah, I've got friends. I've got lots of friends. It's part of why you hate me. You can't figure out why I exist and people love me.
This is going in a place.
I'm pretty fucking lovable. If you don't hate women who have opinions. It's just like, why are you... Where did the fucking rage come from? Like, how did you unlock Super Saiyan God, like, to get this riled up? Do you remember when she first sort of made a splash as an insane, furious woman? Because I do. Yeah, so Lauren Ho, this is an example of tubing it, about how, like, you have to remember when these people go nuclear because they're not leaving. It's not like an anime villain where like they have their big deranged I'm about to lose speech that like proves that that they're nuts, that their ideology is wrong, and then they fade into the background. No, they're tubing it. They will come back, and you need to remember like, oh shit, that's that person. The first thing Lauren Ho did that marked them as the angriest woman alive is she went, she had, I believe her debut book was coming out, and people were starting to give Goodreads reviews because they had advanced copies. And some of these reviews were 4-star and 4.5-star reviews. Objectively, a positive review. That means that they liked your book. She posts, apropos of nothing. She just decided to do this. Glad to see most of the Goodreads assholes still giving 4-star reviews to show they're super tough reviewers who need to, like, fall in love, Anyway, no one likes you. She then screen caps 2 4.5-star reviews that were like, wow, great book, 4.5 stars. And she responds, grow up. Continuing on, all the writers are scared to even like that tweet. I see you. I'll hate them out loud for you. I know they're scary as shit. Fucking nerds on a power trip. You fucking forgot to assign homework, ass motherfuckers. Jesus. You really wouldn't want to be stuck sitting by one of these nerds on a plane.
It's funny because, like, she's yelling at no one, but everyone. Like, This is just her challenge to the globe.
She's yelling at no one, and, like, because the enemy is no one, it's also everyone. Like, because you can't define, like, who are you fucking mad? Like, you're mad at people who don't give exclusively 5-star reviews? Like, they like your book. They're giving it good reviews. Like, what are you, huh? And thus she is allowed to constantly see enemies everywhere she looks. Hence, this take. She wouldn't fucking shut up, which is the funniest part. Some people kept telling her, like, you've gone nuts. It's weird to be this angry and, like, personally angry and, like, attacking like the character of people who give you good reviews but not the best possible. And so her response to being told that was, I love how proud you all are of this relationship that basically equates to shut up and take it. Don't make eye contact and we won't hurt you. Because we love books.
I haven't been reading lately, and I feel really correct in that decision.
Goodreads. See, I kind of understand where she's coming from in a sense that, like, if you are trying to start from zero, or relatively zero, if it's your first book, and if it's your first book and you're getting, like, marketing from a publisher, it's not zero, but, like, relatively, yeah, you're not an established author. Okay, you're starting from zero, and you want to make a success. You want to have as big a splash at the beginning as you can. You're going to want to have your sort of aggregate score be as high as it can. And for that, you want as many 5-star reviews as you can get. And this is a big thing for podcasts. Podcasts, basically, they all are 5 stars, but there's really 2 stars. There's 1 and 5. Anything that isn't 5 is 1, essentially. And it doesn't fucking matter, really, for podcasts, especially not us, because we've been around for a while. We're not new. I don't fucking care. However, I can see where you would get upset about, like, oh, they like my book, but they're bringing my average down, which is going to hurt my sales. Oh, no. It takes a real incredible poster to take that feeling, which, is valid. It's a little selfish, but, like, what are you going to do? You are yourself. To take that and to inject it with, like, 50 cc's of fucking killing you rage. And be like, if I felt that, you know what I would do? I would feel it, and I would feel a little ashamed of myself, and I would sort of keep it to myself. I would maybe tell my wife and be like, this is so petty, but I gotta get it out and say it. I wouldn't go online and say, hello, everyone. I will say what you're all thinking. Everyone who gives 4-star reviews is a fucking stupid nerd who's getting off on some fucking power trip, making themselves feel like they have power over me. They're better. And I know that they're pieces of shit. and nothing used. Don't argue with me because I'm right.
That sells books, though. That's one of the best ways to move books.
Yeah, I want to read her book like so bad now. Like I wasn't thinking about it before, and now I'm just like, she's a hell of a writer.
I want to read a book by someone who's always having a last stand.
Fuck.
I don't want to talk about posts anymore. This has got to end.
This has got to end. And I will end. I'm Batam, an anime sicko. Joe, you've been Joe, an anime sicko. I will end just by reading one post. We will not make any comments about it, and we will let it just sit in your mind. Someone said something annoying. The carcass of a lion replied, "You are literally Dutch." The original poster said, originally, yes, that matters how. And carcass of a lion says, a ridiculous fake language and culture. Send me your cranial measurements, you old Yakubian ape. I must study you for science. That's all we got. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Anime Sickos. I've been Tom, a sicko. You can follow me on Twitter at TomHarrison19. Joe is also a sicko. You can follow him on Twitter at Sharia Uncle. You can follow Anime Sickos on Twitter at Anime Sickos, or email us at animesickos@gmail.com. Please leave us a review or something. I don't know. Tell a friend. Anyway, until next time, bye.